You're on.
Hi everyone, I am here with a true story out of our book, When God Winks at You. This one is called The Story of the Story. Okay. Winding through traffic, Candy Chan glanced at her watch. Christmas was days away, and the stresses of the season were making her shoulders ache. Furrowing her brow, she mentally renewed her Christmas list of to-dos. She was mistaken, or was she adding more than subtracting? The priority of the moment: get to Nichols' school. One time, his kindergarten class was having dress rehearsal for the so-called winter pageant. Why didn't they call it what it was? She said out loud to no one. Her mind moved to a more harmonious thought. Thank God Nicholas has no problem with my night schedule at the hospital. It was a blessing that my 5 was obvious to his mommy, coming to dress rehearsal rather than the real performance that evening. No prima donna there, she smiled. Nicholas was a no-stress kid, but the very motion of stress took her mind back to the earlier night. Winter pageant. Don't get me started, she said, shaking her head in quick little moments, searching through the windshield, confirming that, again, none of the stores displayed the word Christmas. Christ is rejected, and so am I, she thought. How many publisher rejections do I now have for my children's book? She'd lost count. It was small comfort to have the nicest stack of turndowns. A 4th grade girl's diary is a good idea, but your children's book, Nikki Lamar's private diary, has compelling characters and dialogue. But she was glad she accepted the bad news and stopped fighting it, learning from the cancer patients at the hospital that there is a comforting peace in accepting the inevitable. Sometimes acceptance of what is so much less stressful than fighting a fruitless battle. She dreaded what her mother might think now in heaven. Her mom had always said, "You're going to be a writer when you grow up, Candy." Would she be disappointed? Pulling into the school parking lot, Candy expelled a quiet sigh. Small miracle she'd gotten there on time. A few other parents and teachers were gathered in the cafeteria, ready to witness the unfolding of this season's Christmas pageant. There, I've said it, she thought, definitely repeating herself loudly. Christmas pageant. How cute can kindergartners be? She mussed, an involuntary smile sweeping over her face as she watched the 5-year-olds, herded by their teacher, into position for their big number. As they began, Candy drew in a breath. She realized they were about to sing a song, Christmas Love. Her appreciation for Nicholas's teacher and the school instantly soared. Imagine that. The selection of song that used to the actual word of the holiday being celebrated was bold and praiseworthy, but Candy was totally unprepared for the God wink that followed. As the adorable flock of children, adorned in red and white, scarves and fuzzy mittens, commenced their performance, a God wink unfolded that became imprinted on her memory and changed her life. I instantly knew that God was sending me a message. She reflected a clear sign that quitting my quest to write was not an option, and he was giving me the story right then and there. The heartwarming story, Christmas Love, that later poured out on Candy's computer screen, was soon read around the globe, forwarded by one internet user after another. She described the God wink this way. The performance was going smoothly until suddenly we noticed her. A small, quiet girl in the front row holding the letter M upside down, Totally unaware her letter M appeared as a W. The audience on the first row, 6th graders, snickered at this little one's mistake. But she had no idea they were laughing at her, so she stood tall, proudly holding her W. Although many teachers tried to shush the children, the laughter continued until the last letter was raised, and we all saw it together. A hush came over the audience, and eyes began to widen. In that instant, we understood the reason we were there, why we celebrated the holiday in the first place, why even in the chaos, there was a purpose for our festivities. For when the last letter was held high, the message read loud and clear: Christ was love. And I believe he still is. Candy Chan's Godwink was a nod from God to hang in there, not to give up writing. Her story, Christmas Love, was published in Chicken Soup for the Christian Soul. I thought about getting that book. I've seen it at the Dollar Tree. And that paved the way for her to fulfill her mother's prophecy and the desires within her own heart. She's the author of 4 books. Her 5th, The 12 Prayers of Christmas, is due out soon. So, yeah, that was good. So I'll have to get that one if I see it again there. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's story, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Good night, guys.